Hello, I'm Tux from GWorks Toys, and I'm very excited to introduce you to the first None of Productions vehicle kit for the Classified Series Zartan figure. And here we have our... that's not right. Okay, there we go. This is our first vehicle kit, fully assembled and all stickered up. We'll start right away with some comparisons of colours and sizes. Here you can see it versus the 2008 25th anniversary Zartan Swamp Skier, and here it is versus a beat up old original O-ring skier. Here's a 6-inch classified figure, and here's a 4-inch 25th anniversary figure. You can see it clocks in at around 9.5 inches or 24 centimeters, depending on how you have the rear skis positioned. About 3 inches or 7.5 centimeters, depending on how you have the handlebars positioned. And the same 3 inches, 7.5 centimeters for the width. The vehicle is fully blast effect compatible in both the front water cannon and the motor at the rear. The handlebars really do move the front skis, and they can be fully turned from side to side. The front and rear skis are all on hinges, and the rear skis can be folded back or forward, depending on your preference. If we pop one off, you can see that everything uses standard 5mm pegs, making the entire kit modular as well. The footrests are also on pegs and can be swung in either direction. We've got 3 options currently available. The basic kit shown here comes with everything you need to build your own vehicle, and there's another option where you can get it with a sticker sheet included. These stickers are also available directly from toyhacks.com, you can see a link in the description. You can also order a fully assembled version, which does come fully cleaned up and put together. While the stickers are not attached, it does come with a full sheet also. These are only available in green right now, but depending on sales numbers, we may release a glow-in-the-dark or UV reactive version down the line, for those that want to upgrade. For those of you that are ordering the kit, let's now go through how to put it together. First, let's talk about the shells. These are made of PETG, so they won't shatter in the way that, say, RC car shells do. They come in 2 pieces, the outer painter pieces and an inner support shell. Now, if there are any spurs along the edge of either shell, just run a sharp blade flat-faced along the edge and it should clean right up. It's important not to skip this on the inner shell in particular, as any sharp burrs could scratch the paint. And, as always, take extreme care when using any kind of bladed tool and try and cut away from yourself. The 2 halves aren't attached in the kit version, but you can optionally glue them together for extra rigidity. We're not going to glue this one, but we will show you how you would do it. This is just standard super glue. You'll want to put drops along any points making contact with the outer shell, and press the 2 shell parts back together. Now again, this is entirely optional. Everything holds together and is plenty rigid without the glue. Now we'll set that aside while we work on the rest of the kit. Before you start assembly, make sure that you have everything. Remove all the parts from the sprues and make sure to clean everything up. On these pieces here, you'll need to make sure you trim off the extra support on the rear of the peg. This centre support section can be either removed or left in. It's only there as part of the manufacturing process, but it's mostly hidden under the shell. We'll remove it on this one by cutting at these 3 points. And these support pieces also need to be trimmed off. Start with the front axle and attach the shorter set of skis using the 5mm pegs. Add the risers to the top of the axle. This can be installed in either direction or left off entirely if you wanted a shorter skier. The rear ski lets attach as shown, with the swivel joint also pressing on. Now let's assemble the motor by lining up the outer pieces. Push both of the fan inserts into their rings, making sure you have one facing in each direction. The inner part of the ring is the side with the two small holes on the edge, and you press onto each side of the motor housing to lock them together. If done correctly, the front of the motor will have the fin, and the rear of the motor will have the 3mm peg for effect pieces. The bottom front of the motor gets a motor support, as does the front top of the motor. The rear support frame plugs into the top rear motor peg. Handlebars just peg onto the 3mm steering shaft. The side braces peg into the rear frame, and then the front frame is lined up and pegged into everything. It's a lot of pegs to line up, so take your time and make sure everything is squared up right. The rear skis peg into the rear frame. They do also rotate for 4-ski turning. Bring the shell back in now. Insert the shorter rear shell peg into the shell and plug it into the rear frame. For the handlebars, you'll need to trim the ejector support off and trim the flashing off of the 3mm peg part. The handle grips are plugged into the 3mm hinges and then into the main handlebars. The grips are fully articulated. This makes it easier to reach a bunch of sitting positions on the vehicle. The steering shaft goes into the shell, through the front frame, and plugs into the front axle. This is an extra support, there'll be more about that later. The footrest will need the flashing trimmed off the 3mm pegs like the grips. Then they peg into the side of the frame. Now, if you get the assemble kit option, this is how your vehicle will come right out of the box. Let's quickly go over the articulation again. The rear skis can turn and fold up on several joints as shown here. The front skis fold up and can turn from side to side, moving with the handlebars. Here's what it looks like with the spacer removed. You could use both spacers if you really wanted for an even taller stance. Now, let's get it all stickered up. Here she is, all stickered up. Now your actual sticker sheet will look different from the one shown here. This was an early test sheet. And again, we want to remind you the assemble kit does not come with the stickers attached. So, what's this extra piece actually for? Well, not to tease too much, but if we sell enough of these, you'll need it for something else that we'll hopefully release later on. We hope you're excited for your classified Zartan vehicle, and this has helped you put your kit together. And as always, feed the algorithm by doing all the things. Just please don't feed it after midnight. We hear bad things happen. That's the end of the video. If you've made it this far, thank you for sticking with it. As a reward, check the bottom of the description for a code to enter when you check out when purchasing one of these vehicles, and we'll add a free CobraStand item to your package. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll hope to see you again soon.